Hello, Clara. I have to talk to you.
Hello, Mom. Can I help you with something?
I heard from my son that Alyssa wants to go to a private high school. Is this true?
Yes, that's right. The high schools around here don't teach the subject that Alyssa is interested in, so...
A private high school, huh? You do realize that it costs a fortune.
Oh, no need to worry about that. I talked to your son about it, and we came to the conclusion that the overall cost wouldn't be that great.
It's not about that.
Huh?
If you had the money to send Alyssa to an expensive private school, it would be more logical to have Kevin go to that private junior high school.
Excuse me? We've already decided that Kevin will be attending the local public school.
You must not do that. As the male in the family, he should be getting the best education you can provide him.
Well, actually, Kevin wanted it this way. He made the final decision.
No. Kevin is just being nice. He's just letting his big sister have her way.
Kevin is a confident kid. He is honest about his feelings.
No, you got it all wrong. I'm sure Kevin wants to go to a good private school. I can't believe you. You're his mother, for God's sake. It's a mother's job to understand and consider a child's future. Don't even know that? Besides, when Kevin was in elementary school, I urged you to let Kevin take the exam for entering that private school. But you simply ignored my advice and had him attend the local public school. But this time, I'm not going to back down. You must let him go to the private junior high school. I will not take no for an answer.
He said he doesn't want to part with his best friends he's had since elementary school and wants to continue with them to junior high.
Best friends? He doesn't need that. This is a time to study, not play.
He doesn't need friends?
Oh, that reminds me. I have a close relative whose son would be perfect for Kevin. He's getting ready to take the exam to get into the school so he could be Kevin's new best friend.
Say again?
Okay, so now we have a reason for Kevin to take the exam and get into the same private school.
Are you off your rocker? You can't just make best friends like that. It takes time and effort. You can't just come in and introduce yourself and then the next minute you're best buddies. It's more complicated than that.
I will not tolerate any more of your stubbornness. I want you to select a public school for Alyssa that's close by, so she can go there by bicycle. That's all I have to say. Alyssa, I need to talk to you.
Grandma?
I really don't want to waste my time on such trivial affairs, but you don't seem to understand your standing in the family, so I took the liberty of contacting you and telling you myself.
What's this about?
I talked to your mother earlier, and we decided that you'll be going to a public school nearby, a school you can commute to by bicycle. It's all set.
Huh? Hold on a second. The whole family sat down and we talked this over. It was decided that I would be going to that private school. I thought it was all worked out.
A woman does not need education, but of course you should at least finish high school. Public school is more than enough for you. If your parents are going to spend that money, they should at least have Kevin go to a private school. That's the proper use of money. Besides, don't you think you should be the one who should have said something? You should have just declined.
How could you say that? There are things I want to do in life too.
Talking back to your elder? I wonder where you got that stubbornness. At any rate, I talked to your mother about it, and it's all been worked out. I will not allow any more of your obstinance. Do you hear me?
Hey, Mom, you got a minute?
Hey, Alyssa. You're over at your friend's place, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going over the exam questions for school. I was going to wait until I got home, but I just couldn't get it out of my mind.
Something wrong?
I just got a line message from Grandma.
Huh? Grandma?
I never hear from her, so I was a bit shocked when I saw her name. She said you and her talked it over and decided that I would not be going to that private school. She said you guys worked everything out.
What?
And that the money would be better spent on Kevin's education. Told me not to be stubborn about it. Is this for real?
No way. We never decided on that. As a matter of fact, I just had an argument with her earlier. I can't believe she contacted you directly and said that.
So that means I can go on studying for the exam, right? Of course! As a matter of fact, Kevin is sitting right next to me. He said you don't have to listen to what Grandma says. He made the choice to go to public school. Oh boy, what a relief! I can't believe that woman. She's always just concerned about Kevin. This is the first time she even acknowledged you, Alyssa. Yeah, Grandma's always been like that. I know. What are we going to do with her? Your father keeps cautioning her about her antics, but I guess it's complicated. Grandma does seem to get a bit excessive sometimes. But don't forget, Kevin, me and your dad, we're all rooting for you. We've got your back, so don't worry. Thanks so much, Mom. I know I could count on you. Don't you worry about the exam. I'll ace it. That's what I want to hear.
Clara, are you there? This time, I want you to send Kevin to a private high school.
Can I help you? Kevin is all set on going to a public high school.
What? You didn't even consult me!
Honestly, would it make any difference if we consulted with you?
There you go again. Listen carefully, Clara. I've been telling you for years that you should give Kevin the best possible education, but you simply ignore me. You have no consideration for Kevin's feelings or his dreams, making him go to public school all these years. Don't you feel sorry for your only son?
It's what Kevin wants. I can't say anything.
That's not true. I think I mentioned this before, but it's wrong to put all your effort into educating Alyssa and ignoring your son.
I have never pitted my kids against each other. They are equal in my eyes. Kevin went to public school because he had his reasons. Alyssa chose to go to private school because we thought it best for her future.
It means nothing if a woman flaunts her educational background. But it seems Alyssa ended up going to a nearby public school, commuting by bicycle, just as I said. I hope you're not thinking of sending Alyssa to college, are you?
Oh, she's definitely going to college.
What?
She's moving out next year and will be living in the dorm of the state college.
That means you're going to have to send her money every month. There's no way I'll permit that. No way. I don't care if it's private or public. If you're going to spend money, spend it on Kevin, why don't you? This time I insist. He must attend a well-known private school.
I already told you. Kevin is going to a nearby public high school.
Again, you're being stubborn as ever.
That's what the kids want. They can do as they please.
As I've always said, education is best for men, not for women. A mother's duty is to look after her son, Kevin, not Alyssa. As a mother, you should know that. And I urge you to educate your kids about that too. It's important to know that men have priority over women. Boys must be raised with care. Girls must learn to be patient.
I despise self-righteous old women.
Huh? What did you say, Clara?
It's me, Kevin.
Kevin?
Sorry to butt in.
No, this is not Kevin. He would never say such a thing to me. Oh, I see what's going on. It's you, isn't it, Alyssa? You're pretending to be Kevin.
You can be absolutely sure it's Kevin. You should be grateful I didn't call you a wrinkled old witch or a bad-tempered old hag.
You're calling me that right now! Alyssa, I will never forgive you for this. That's why I dislike female grandchildren. But what's more, your mother's upbringing methods are despicable. I've always thought this, but I should be the one to bring up poor Kevin. Let's have a meeting tonight regarding what we should do for Kevin's future.
All right then. I'll contact you on my line.
Huh?
I really don't want to see you face to face.
Alyssa, as I said, stop pretending to be Kevin.
Where were we?
Kevin, I feel so sorry for you, to have such an unreasonable mother and sister. If you come over and live with me, you'll be able to go to a prestigious private high school. What do you say?
I never said I wanted to go to a private school.
Now, Kevin, you can be completely honest with me. No need to be concerned about your mom or your sister. Tell me how you really feel.
Even if I tell you, you probably won't listen as usual, but I'll try. Did you know that Alyssa has been going to that private school by bicycle? You thought she was going to public school. Well, she's going to Middleton Academy. That private school is only a few blocks away. Bet you didn't know she's at the top of her class. On the honors list, as a matter of fact.
Does that mean I've been hoodwinked all these years?
Hoodwinked? No way. You were never interested in what Alyssa did anyways. Don't blame your twisted imagination on others. And the reason I stayed in public school is that I not only wanted to go to school with all my close buddies, but I wanted to join the baseball team with my best friend.
Baseball team?
Yeah, and it's a pretty good team, too. Oh my god. Don't tell me you didn't even know I played baseball!
I had no idea.
I'm the captain of the team, and we even made it to the state finals last year. The high school I want to go to is well known for its outstanding baseball team. They made it to the state finals several times. Even been on national TV. What's more, a couple of pro MLB players went there. That's why I want to go there. Private or public, it makes no difference to me.
I really didn't realize how wonderful you were. But you do realize that baseball is not going to be of much use to you in the future. So I insist that you go to a prestigious private school.
Huh? Not much use?
That's right. Baseball is just an extension of a hobby. You really should think seriously about sprucing up your academic achievements.
I see. So that's what you think about all this.
Of course, you're my precious grandson. I'll do anything for you.
I wanted to be a pro ball player. I want to get into the major leagues.
Huh?
I'm going to be straight with you. I was never fond of you. But after you called my love of baseball just a hobby, I despise you even more! I can't stand this. Block time!
Please, Kevin!
Well, my grandmother learned the hard way that her grandson hated her, but she did not give up there. She burst into her home trying to make amends. Luckily, we weren't there. We had moved into a temporary apartment that we had leased several months prior. My husband had foreseen what her mother would do once she learned that Kevin had been accepted to that high school. And there was that issue with Alyssa too, so we figured we would clear everything up once and for all. He put in for a transfer some time back and scheduled it so that we could move about the time Kevin started at the school. In addition, my grandfather, who's on the verge of retirement, had been preparing to get a divorce. Not even knowing she'll be single soon, my grandmother is still wondering what went wrong and why all this is happening to her.
Jack? I have had enough of you fooling around out here. Stop trying to act like it's a good thing to be single at your age and find a woman you can actually stay married to. And once you find that woman, you make her bring me a grandbaby. If you could just try a little harder to find someone, you could become a very good husband and father, right? All you are right now is a complete embarrassment to me.
I think asking Jasmine to bring you that grandbaby would be a lot more effective, Mom. And those two already took fertility tests and the results came back saying that they are both good to go.
I understand that, but that has nothing to do with you. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that it's embarrassing to have my oldest son grow up single and with no kids.
But Mom, I already told you I don't plan on getting married anymore.
Huh? You're going on about that again? Then what's going to happen to me getting my grandbaby?
And that's why I said, you won't be getting a grandbaby from me, okay? I've been to the doctor about it already and they said it's better for me to just look past wanting kids based on the very low chance I have of getting someone pregnant. They even tried bringing up adoption as an option, but you budged in, saying that it was the wife's fault for not bringing in any kids. And you still wonder why she left me after all that crap you gave her, for something that's not anyone's fault but my own. Why is it so hard for you to accept the truth, Mom? You literally do anything but accept the truth, and that includes hurting those who aren't even at fault. If I had to give you a reason why I'm not married now and never will be again, I'd say it has to do with you always getting in the way.
You're going on about that again as well?
If you don't want to hear about it again, then stop making me bring it up. The fact that you always come to me about not having any kids and not having anyone to love is why I always go back and bring up the reasons why. It's driving me nuts.
Well, listen, Jack. You don't have to cover for that ex of yours being infertile anymore, because you've already divorced her and she means nothing to us anymore, right?
Jesus Christ, Mom! I'm not lying about it to protect her. I'm being serious when I say that I'm the one that's infertile. I even showed you the test results from the clinic, right?
Well, anyway, I'm not going to allow you to stay single. The only way you're going to continue staying a man in my family is by getting yourself another wife and making some kids with her. That's what all men need to do, and you're no exception.
Please stop with all this, Mom. At this point, you continue to go in circles about this. It's just wasting everyone's time.
Jack!
I have an early morning tomorrow, so good night.
I've had enough sitting here waiting. You must be planning to surprise me with something, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that penthouse you have. You must have bought that recently, right?
Huh?
When I went into your apartment earlier, I saw the papers on that place lying on your computer.
You've gone and created yet another duplicate key to my place without my permission? Are you still not able to get it into your head that it's because of crap like you that you've caused my last relationship to flounder and forced me to divorce my wife? I can't believe you right now, Mom.
Well, you're my son, and I think I have the right to have access to your apartment. So when are you going to be able to introduce me to that new wife of yours?
Seriously?
The penthouse I saw in those papers lying in your apartment showed that it has 3 bedrooms and a very spacious kitchen, so there must be a good reason for you buying it, right? What kind of woman is the girl you're with right now? Is she the kind of woman that can actually get pregnant and birth some children?
It was after you bought that penthouse that you made my relationship with my ex-wife impossible and I had to divorce her.
Huh?
It's been over a year now since I bought that penthouse. After the divorce, I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, and I still have work and that to deal with as well, so I haven't had time to move into the place or anything yet.
Huh? What the? Can you stop trying to upset me right now? But if that's really the case with you, that penthouse doesn't belong to someone who's single and has no plan to have a family, right?
Huh?
Well, listen, your sister has gotten pregnant.
Oh, is that so? Tomorrow I'll send her a text telling her congrats.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I want you to give that penthouse to your sister and her husband.
What?
Right now, your sister is living in a small apartment with her husband that only has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom in it. Right now, the place is decent for those two, but the moment they have their first baby, they're going to need more space to work with. You can understand that, right?
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Then please give that place to your sister.
Stop being ridiculous, Mom. I'm planning to move into that place real soon, and starting this week I plan to get my things packed up and ready to go.
Having a place as big as that all to yourself is far too greedy.
Why is that greedy? Also, this place wasn't even going to be mine in the first place after the divorce, but I was able to get it after much talk with my ex about how much I planned on using it. You have no right telling me to give it away after you almost made me lose it once already.
You are far too old now to be saying such selfish garbage.
How am I being selfish right now?
Are we finished here, Jack? I'm tired of having to fight you all the time on stuff like this. That place is too big for you and would be perfect for your sister, her husband, and her soon-to-be-born baby. And me. Having a place that open for the 4 of us to live in would be perfect.
Hold on a minute. It seems to me like the conditions have changed, and you just made it look as though you plan to live with them in the penthouse.
And what's wrong with me wanting that?
Have you ever even spoken with either of them yet about your plan?
There's no reason for me to talk with them about it now.
Well, if they need a house that's bigger than the apartment they're in, then the normal thing to do would be to move into a bigger place, or have a new place built for their needs, right? And I believe that both of us have heard already from her husband that he plans on having a place of his own built for the family, instead of moving into an already built home, right? Even if I did want to give them my penthouse, they probably don't need it.
I've had enough of this talk. Just give them the dang penthouse. If you continue to keep saying no to what your own mother is asking you, then I'll have to disown you.
Really?
But if you give them that place, then we can all go on with our lives again as normal. You don't want me cutting ties to you, right?
Actually, I don't care if you do or don't.
Right? You know just as well as I do that we don't want that.
Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. You can stop trying to talk your way out of all this now. I am looking forward to moving into that place and having so much room to work with while raising my grandbaby.
That's not what I meant.
Well, since that's what's going to happen soon, I need to start preparing my things as well to move into that place.
Go and do what you'd like, Mom. But don't come back to me when things aren't what they seemed.
Jack! Why are you living in this penthouse right now? You were supposed to have given your sister this place so that her family and I could live here without you.
How do you know about me moving out of my old apartment?
I went to your previous apartment to come see it, and the man living next door to your place told me that you moved out. And when he said that to me, I went right to the building that the penthouse is located in, and I can see that you're in there right now. But when I ran after you as you opened the door, you slammed it in my face before I could come inside.
Well, luckily there's a really fast auto lock on the door that kicked in right before you turned the handle. And if you don't have the key to that lock, you can't get in.
Well, then hand that key over to me right now, Jack. I went to your apartment today looking for that key after all, so now that I've had to run all the way here after you moved in without letting me know, I'm getting that key.
So you went into that apartment again without my permission, huh? Thank God I moved out of there before you started to have one of these fits again.
You don't have any plans to get married again, right?
That's right. All I'm thinking about now is living as a bachelor for the rest of my life.
Then hurry up and get the hell out of there. That penthouse is far too good for some half-cooked man like you who doesn't plan to have a wife or kids.
Well, I'm planning on making this place into my office and this studio as well.
Huh? Making it into an office?
For a long time now, I've been doing this sort of work as a sort of side hustle, and now I'm thinking of focusing on it full time. And as of right now, I've been working with a friend of mine on merging our businesses and making a larger company.
And so what? That sort of stuff has nothing to do with that penthouse.
Well, that friend that I'm working with had plans to get married next year, and then move into a place close to his penthouse. But right now his partner is overseas for work, and he's all alone over here. So the plan is to have him stay in this penthouse with me for the next year until his woman returns and they get married.
What the heck? Why did you make all of those plans without me?
Because this is my penthouse, and since it's mine, I can do what I want with it.
But I told you that if you don't want to be disowned, you have to give that place over to your sister so that her family can move into there. You can look back in our texts and see exactly what I told you. I said for you to give the penthouse to her, and that you don't want me cutting ties with you, right? And you replied by saying you don't care if I do or don't.
Yeah, and that meant that I don't care what you do about your relationship with me. In other words, go ahead and disown me.
Huh?
You can go back into our messages and see what I told you. You're mistaking what I said, and that it wasn't what you thought it meant, right?
What? You're kidding, right?
I wanted to make things more clear for you, but you wouldn't stop talking, and told me to stop talking about it anytime I try to speak, so I gave up on it. And honestly, I'm totally okay with you cutting your ties to me, and that's why I stopped caring about you having a misunderstanding about what I said.
What the heck? Then what should I do now?
Go back to your own house and stay quiet from now on?
But I already moved ahead and sold my place.
Is that right?
What the hell is up with you acting like that's got nothing to do with you?
Well, you're cutting ties to me now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Are we done here? I have some things that I need to get back to, and I can see that you have nothing left to say to me that I care to hear. Bye.
Wait a second. What the heck am I going to do? Jack? Hey!
What do you want? What could you possibly want with me now?
Hey, do you know where your sister ran off to?
Huh? Why are you asking me where she's gone? All I know about her is that her husband and her moved back closer to his hometown because there would he be closer to his job.
Huh? They moved even further away? That town is almost 4 hours away from here.
Before those two even got married, they were talking about how before they even had a kid, they'd move back into his hometown where he'd be closer to his job and be in a better place to raise the kids. The only reason why he was working around here for a little while in the first place is because the company he works for is owned by his dad, and he was asked to start helping with the starting of a new office in town. But they agreed that once his wife became pregnant, he could go back to his old office closer to his hometown and have his kid there.
What?
And it's getting pretty close to the due date for that baby, so they decided to move back to his hometown before she had the baby and is all tired out.
Well, why did I never hear anything about this from them?
It's because you're a reckless woman, so we all decided to keep their move a secret from you so you couldn't do anything crazy to them.
Huh? I'm reckless?
You made a huge deal about having me give up on my penthouse and handing it over to my sister so that her and her husband could have their baby there and you could live there with them as well. They also knew about how I bought this place before my divorce and that you were the reason my wife ended up leaving me. And if all that wasn't enough, you were causing a crap ton of stress for her by always trying to control everything she planned to do with the baby, as though it was gonna be your baby somehow. Well, anyway, there's a whole bunch of reasons that began to pile up, and that's why they both chose to move out of town without telling you.
What the heck? Does she not want me around to help her in raising her baby when it's born? Did she forget who raised her to become the perfect woman she is now?
And as far as we're concerned, it was Dad that raised the both of us into the people we are now.
Huh?
Dad was the one making the money in the house for all of us to live on, and he was also the one that did the most cooking and cleaning in the house. You were a housewife, but you ended up slacking off quite a lot.
Wait a second.
Also, it's been 2 years now since you left the house to live on your own away from Dad because you didn't want him to listen to you asking all the time to do the chores, right? Well, he's told me that he plans to divorce you now since you're never going back to him.
But if he leaves me, how am I going to make any money?
No, I'm not, because you told me you'd disown me and cut ties with me.
But you are my son, so you should be able to do something about this, please.
I think we're pretty much done here, right? I'm a very busy man now, and I got things I gotta get back to. Can you make sure to never talk to me again?
Jack!
Now I'm gonna get back to work. Goodbye forever. After her and I had our final conversation, my mom came running back to my penthouse door and continued to hang around it for hours and hours. But after a while of hearing her constant knocking around my penthouse door and the building itself, others in the building began to become suspicious of her and called the police on her. They came just at the time I wasn't around, so she couldn't get me to come and help her, meaning the police put her in their car and drove her to the nearest station. After she was let out of the police station the following day, she proceeded to start heading back to the building my penthouse was in, only to be stopped by my dad, who told her that he heard about everything and would be sending her to my older brother's business outside the state. There she would work for him and make some money to support herself, while also being too far away to do anything about me and the rest of my family. Her brother operates a logging business, so the location she'll be working at is far in the mountains and forests, where it takes almost a day to get to by buggy or truck. So because of her being so remote, I can feel a sense of relief knowing she'll never make it back here again. And of course, this meant that Dad was able to divorce her as well. I hope that now she's lost pretty much everything in her immediate family, and she'll begin to make a new family out there in the middle of nowhere cutting wood all day with all those other loggers. And I'm sure that unlike us, those loggers won't even let her get away with a second of that reckless attitude she had with us.